Yo, 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 new day, new day. I have just gotten off the last episode of Avatar, The Last Airbender, watched it for the first time ever, and ever since I can remember, people have been yelling at me to watch it, so I finally did, and, I mean, those last few episodes were, exactly what I expected, but it's just nice to watch, something predictable for once, not any huge, insane plot twist at the end that leads up to, another season, even though I would have liked a lot of more, just post-credit stuff, but I guess we'll get into that. But a lot of the ending, I just watched the four last episodes where he actually, the gang goes up against the Fire Nation, Aang versus Sozin, fucking Azula versus Zuko and Katara, and I guess Sokka and Toph against the entire Fire Nation fleet. And also some old guys who did something. Yeah, I don't really know. They're the White Lotus gang, and they're basically like, if you took the Avatar and, just split them in 4 old guys, that's essentially them. They have the old fire guy, who's the old general of just, of the Fire Nation, Aang's first firebending teacher, where he gave up on firebending, basically. You have the old ruler of Omashu that I can't, Bumi? Yeah, Bumi, who is just like, he's a bit of a prankster. I like the guy. You have some water tribe fella who's apparently, Sokka and Katara's grandpa. I don't really know. I don't remember the guy at all. Who's the last one? What do we need? We don't really have an airbender, I suppose, but we do have, I really feel like there's an obvious one I'm missing. Anyway, we got Uncle Iroh too, who is essentially just a second general, previous general firebender, which I guess is just, like, they're two sides, the same side of the same coin. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But all in all, we got a couple good episodes on our hands here. It's pretty great, just like watching. I don't know. I'm a simple guy. I just want good-looking, predictable fights, and I am so here for it. Just seeing how the fight. You know how the fights are gonna conclude. They're gonna struggle a bit, and then they're finally gonna come up with some sort of plan to beat the bad guys, finally. And that is essentially what happens in every single one of these scenarios, but it's just funny how to, just watching from like I guess like sort of power scaler perspective, but also like just, intriguing, like how does this fight play out? So I guess let's start with the big one, the big one that everything has been leading towards is Fire Lord Sozin, or fucking Phoenix King Sozin, apparently, against Aang, where he was kind of, they were pretty even throughout the fight, where Sozin had the upper hand because he's just. He has way more fucking firepower and way more proficiency in fighting, and, his, not to mention the comet was there to, boost his firebending even further. But, I guess Aang does also have firebending, but not to the proficiency that, the fucking Fire Lord has. So, basically what Sozin is doing is just, like, trying to fucking wipe out the entire Earth Kingdom, just like his grandpa did with the air nomads like 100 years ago or something. So that is a whole. Oh yikes! I hate Gorb. Gorb is kind of ass. So it's pretty interesting watching, like, history kind of repeat itself, but like you know, this time the Avatar is actually there to fucking save everybody. Also, I think it's kind of interesting that Aang goes and asks the other avatars to, like, what does he want to do with Sozin, because that's kind of been a whole thing lingering in the background. Like, he doesn't really, you know, first of all, he doesn't feel like he's ready to fight Sozin yet, especially, you know, during the comet. But also, like, what to do after, you know, he presumably beats Sozin. Because he's been, like, on an entire pacifist run throughout, like, everything he's been doing. And he really doesn't want to fucking kill anybody, which is just huge main character energy, right? But his whole shtick is I don't know, there's a funny shtick where he, like, gets lost and gets, I don't know, sort of like hypnotized, I suppose, to walk onto this island that turns out to be a huge fucking, turtle lion thing that I, by the way, really want to know more about. Like, this guy just kind of came out of nowhere, said some funny words, and apparently also summoned all the other Avatar, like, forced him into the Avatar, like, talking place, you know, said a few wise words, and then dipped. And, like, who the fuck is this guy? He's a giant, like, he's the stereotypical, like, giant turtle that is just kinda there and is important and really fucking old. Like, he's apparently older than Bending. You know, back in his day, you know, back when I was a young little whippersnapper, instead of bending the elements, we bended each other's souls, which sounds, first of all, terrifying, when you see what it does to Sozin. It just kind of removes his fucking bending. I thought at first it was, like, you know, bending his soul into, like, just, you know, him becoming a good guy. But no, he's not redeemed. Sozin is just, like, you know, fucking in jail, and his whole, like, the most pity they take on him is that Aang doesn't kill him. He just takes his bending away and throws him in prison. So that's pretty great. I kind of like that fact. Also, you know, what I was getting to is that Aang's, like, all the previous avatars that he talks to, he desperately tries to get the answer he wants out of all the avatars. And, you know, even the previous airbender avatar says, like, they come to the conclusion, all of them, that, nah, you just need to kill this guy, just, you know, get rid of him as soon as possible, because I was in a similar circumstance and I fumbled. So please just kill the guy. But, you know, in the end, we know, of course, because it's a, I don't know, I didn't really know if he was gonna kill him, but in hindsight, like, yeah, it was pretty obvious he was not gonna go fucking kill Sozin. But if he was going to kill somebody in the series, it would be Sozin. Especially because he was, like, in the Avatar state, and I don't know, I feel like it would be kinda unsatisfying if in the fight against, you know, fucking Sozin and Aang, he didn't get to control his Avatar state. Like, yeah, he went into the Avatar state, but in the first couple of, God damn it, I fumbled. I didn't fumble. I'm good. In the first couple of moments after he enters the Avatar state, you know, Aang gets absolutely slapped. And by absolutely slapped, I mean, like, he's losing slightly, but, you know, slightly but steadily. I don't know if that's a good way to say it. But after he enters the Avatar state, he absolutely slams Sozin. And, you know, when you look at it from the outside, Aang seems fucking terrifying to fight against. He is, like, he forms a ball of air around him, and all the 3 other elements are like circling around him, and he's just like, he's not even like running after you or anything, he's just like a force of fucking nature that is just kind of, you know, a little too slowly chasing you down, and he is shining like blue light from every fucking inch of his like tattoos and eyes and mouth, and he clearly is not really in control of himself. That's probably the most scary part. And you see how absolutely powerful he is. Like, he kinda effortlessly beats Sozen, and he, in his avatar state, is about to kill him, but he, you know, in real fucking anime style, takes he composes himself right before he stabs Sozen with all 4 fucking elements in the chest and kills him. But he doesn't do that because he's the main character, so we can't have anybody dying in a kid show, right? So essentially, what happens is that he remembers the turtle and does some sort of turtle, the gesturing, the motion that the turtle did to him, he does to Sozen, and takes his fucking bending away. He bends his will or whatever the fuck. I don't know. Again, I really want to know more about this turtle guy, because he seems pretty important to like the entire world, and we just don't know who he is. He just kind of showed up and then dipped. I wanna call attention to the fact that I lost 4 blood hearts to this fucking guy. This is embarrassing. Anyhow, pretty good fight overall. Again, I'm just a meathead when it comes to fight. Like, if there are like technical stuff I can delve into, sure, I like that, but I don't need it. I just need, you know, big fire, go boom, huge lights clashing everywhere. That is completely fine with me. Again, I just want to see how this thing plays out. And you know, of course it plays out with, again, Sozen going to fucking jail. What did not turn out how I thought was actually the Suko Asula fight, where, you know, basically, I don't know, again, in retrospect, this makes so much sense. Like, all the pieces were there to make, like, you know, Asula is slowly going insane, right? Just to, like, set the pieces straight here. Asula has been dubbed the new Fire Lord because Sozen is now the lord of the entire world. He has dubbed himself, right? So Asula is now being crowned as the new Fire Lord, and Suko does not fucking like that because his uncle thinks that Suko needs to be the Fire Lord because, you know, he's good guy, Asula is bad guy. Also, what happened to Asula? We don't really get to see that. Again, another thing that I really want to see in some sort of epilogue. I know that there is an epilogue or like a sequel. I don't know if it's an epilogue or sequel, actually. I think it's a sequel. Because I'm pretty sure the one I'm thinking of, Korra, there is a new avatar. So, I'm just assuming. So, essentially, she's going insane. Asula is going fucking insane because she now has all this power that she's always wanted, but she has seen, like, she has been on the other side all her life trying to take power from other people, so she is obviously very paranoid about, like, who to trust as an ally. Also because she was just betrayed by both Mei and, what's her name, Ling Ling? That sounds really racist, but I think that is her name. So, she obviously has just very recently developed trust issues even though she kind of just forced those two to be like her friends, allies. And she's slowly like going insane. She cut her hair really fucking poorly. She starts seeing illusions of her like lost mother, presumably killed, but probably not. We'll get to that also later. She starts seeing illusions of her like talking sense into her, and she's just like, everything she does is so fucking insane. She also like she's just banishing everyone from the Fire Nation, even though she's not the new Fire Lord yet. She just begins to banish fucking everyone, and she has essentially nobody left. Even at her coronation, when she's supposed to be like crowned, you know, there's basically nobody there to like witness this thing. There are like a couple people there, probably just to like, you know, verify that, yeah, this thing happened, I guess. And that is it. I'm pretty sure that was it. You know, probably, maybe, possibly, because, you know, the Fire Nation is going to war and, you know, destroying the entire world. They're a bit preoccupied, but I feel like a good portion of, like, civilians and stuff would stay behind and at least, like, witness the coronation of a new fucking Fire Lord. But perhaps not. Who knows? I like the angle that she banished everyone, and it's kind of like, I don't know, symbolic of that she's. You get what I mean. I don't know how to explain it anymore. Let's get to the fight. Oonga Boonga, Brain Go Brr. It's a pretty cool fight, where basically, you know, even though she's supposed to be like the final boss, I feel like Azula has been way more intimidating in the past. But because she is so like unstable now, and so like just like out of control of everything, like she's visibly going fucking insane. So like she is fairly easy to deal with. It's only when she catches, like, she baits Zuko into like an honorable 1v1 duel. So even though Katara is there, she's kind of just on the sidelines for the most of the time. Until Zuko kind of lets his guard down, I guess, and you know, pretty comfortably is winning. Azula finally, you know, takes advantage of the fact that Katara is there and shoots mother flippin' lightning at her. And, you know, Zuko, of course, as the hero Chad he is, he jumps in front of the lightning and, you know, I don't know, realistically probably should have died, but I guess he can, like, sort of control the lightning, but that was kind of the point, that if you can't control the lightning properly, which it didn't seem like he did. Good game. It's very implied that he should have died. But you know, oh well. I like Zuko enough so that I can oversee this little thing. At least it didn't do the One Piece thing where like, oh, he is so dead, and then wakes up a day later like, oh guys, I just needed a nap or some shit like that. Fake out deaths are absolutely horrible. God damn. Flashbang as fuck. So, you know, after this happens, Katara, of course, is fucking mad and starts fighting this even more unstable Azula, and fucking outwits her and outsmarts her, because she Azula is not in a thinking state, where Katara, of course, is, because she's fucking Katara. And essentially comes to the conclusion that water beats fire. I don't know why I said conclusion. I don't. She beats her fair and square, leads her towards like a sewer or something, where she, I don't know, freezes the water or something. Did I lose all my fucking hearts to Flukemorm? Jesus Christ, I have fallen off. Well, Wump to the Wump. Anyhow, they both get frozen in water, and essentially just, you know, Katara using, you know, her water bending to unfreeze herself to just chain up Azula, which is really fucking clever, right? But also, like, I had the question, I thought all the fucking time that, you know, there's an obvious way to beat Azula here, or at least get a significant leg up on her, and that is through bloodbending, which is still a really cool-ass name, and feels incredibly overpowered, and it feels also kind of like, I don't know, all the teachings of that old insane woman, like, you know, yeah, she is kind of insane, and, you know, kidnaps fucking people and throws them in her own makeshift prison, but, like, she was a very proficient waterbender also, so why not, you know, use the teachings, because she both taught Katara, god damn it, screw you, she both taught Katara bloodbending kind of by force, and to use, you know, the water in the air, to just, you know, when you don't have any water around you. Of course, Katara did have water around her, but, like, man, she didn't use any of those. Like, all her power-ups were kinda insignificant in this final fight she had, which is a shame. I would have liked to see more. But also, yeah, it's fine. Damn, that scythe turned on a freaking dime. This sucks. I'm, like, barely surviving all of these. Like, yeah, sure, I am winning them, but, like, I am barely scraping by. Okay, well, less than scraping by. So, okay. And then, then they say the fucking Toph and Sokka save they crash a bunch of airships. I would like to have seen more of Toph also. And then, you know, Zuko becomes Fire Nation leader, Fire Lord, and they live happily ever after. Also, I could probably just do another run at this point, but I really want to, I need to go to bed. Actually, I need to, because I gotta wake up way too early tomorrow. Things I want to see in a epilogue. Fucking Aang, his mental state. I really want to see. I want to see Zuko and Sozin's talk about, like, his mother, like, what happened to their mother, because it's not confirmed. It's very much implied that their mother's still alive. What else? Azula? I really want to see fucking Azula. I really want to see what happens to the Earth Kingdom in general. Ba Sing Se. Just want to see fucking everything. I want to see more. I want to see, like, the world after this, essentially. But oh well, I yapped too long. I expected to die before this anyway. I really gotta go to bed. I gotta be honest, guys. I don't wanna, but I really gotta. I yapped too long. Good night, gang. I love you. Bye.